Welcome to First Table Podcast on Urban Style Media. My name is Lamario Favron.
My name is DeAndre Watson.
And we believe in the power of encouraging to change perspectives. And what we're going to do for you guys today, we have a great show. Hey, DeAndre, will you let the audience know what we have today?
So today we have a very special show for y'all. Last week we covered how to become a better leader. We covered different topics throughout the year. But this topic, like I said, I say this all the time. This is probably one of my favorite topics. But this one, I feel like this is a topic that's well needed to cover. I've got a lot of feedback saying, hey, they wanted this. This is a well-known topic that people wanted us to cover. We have different feedbacks on it saying like, hey, we really want this topic to be covered. And this topic, before I introduce this topic to y'all, I just really want you to know that this topic is the next step for all of y'all.
This topic, for us too.
For us too. This is really changing. For y'all that's really on the edge of deciding, should I do this? Should I do this?
Right.
You know what I mean? Just waking up and, you know what I mean? I know pretty much all y'all waking up like, what are they going to talk about? Why is it so important? This topic is really detrimental, and I'm going to say this now. The topic is the power of change. Power of change. I'm going to let that sink into y'all.
Okay.
The power of change.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to let the audience just think about that a little bit, and we'll kind of do a recap from last week, or 2 weeks ago. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So our last topic was how to become a better leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that episode was definitely one of my top 5 there. Reason why is because I feel like everyone, can be a leader in something that they're good at, right? You might not be a leader when it comes to, maybe technology, but when it comes to maybe design, you might be a leader there. People might see you as a leader. So when we discussed how to become a better leader, we went over first what defines a leader, right? Mm-hmm. So we talked about, being able to influence others. We noticed that was a huge thing. Being or not afraid to take on new tasks, right? Mm-hmm. So when we look at what defines a leader, there's like a lot of qualities that go into it. But I definitely like that one there. I noticed we even gave some roles and some advice. Is it okay to be a follower, right? Mm-hmm. We had a couple people ask that question, and guys, we actually answered that. And it's okay to be a follower because I feel like as a leader, you have to know when it's time to take a step forward and when it's time to take a step back. So definitely like that. What was your favorite part about the How to Become a Better Leader episode?
I definitely like the fact that we talked about the important leadership qualities as far as composing of like honesty, integrity, good communicator, vision and mission, just having a passion, enthusiasm for it, the accountability. So those topics that we talked about and really went in depth in, I really feel as though our viewers definitely got to take, because I know I've definitely benefited from that as well, because those are the skills and the qualities that a leadership really encapsulates. That really makes a leader, like being communicative, like having that influence, making sure that your team is always focused on the main goal, keeping everybody in the same pace, in the same drive. So those type of traits is definitely something that a leadership must have. And I would say, me personally, I'm not saying that, I'm a perfect leader myself, because some of those qualities I'm still improving on.
Well, that's a good thing. That's the good thing about, leadership, right, is that it's a skill that can be, improved over time, right? Mm-hmm. So one skill that I'm working on right now as a leader is I'm trying to work on making decisions, quickly but effectively,
Okay.
So whether it be making a quick business decision, whether it be making a left turn versus a right turn, I'm working on those decision-making skills. That way, when I do get into actual, meetings or, decisions that I have to make in my business, it won't be, a complex thing. It'll be something that probably be hard to bite the bullet, but I'll at least be able to handle it effectively.
Okay, improving on your decision-making skills.
Yes.
I would say one thing that I want to improve on as well is becoming a good communicator. And the reason why I say I'm already a good communicator, but a lot of things is that I would have, like, my mentality, I would think of an idea. When I think of idea, before introducing it to anybody, before getting anybody's feedback, I want to make sure that I cover the ground basis of why I thought of it, the demographic, how it would become effective, how it would relate to the topic that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I would think about those stuff first before getting other people's feedback. You know what I mean? But one thing I realized is that I needed to say what's on my mind, because when I say what's on my mind, they were able to provide me the why. You know what I mean? Able to feedback on the reason. You know what I mean? Given the demographics of that idea. So with that, that's why I said I do want to work on becoming a better communicator as far as speaking what's on my mind. But like I said, those type of qualities is definitely essential for a leader.
No, most definitely. And guys, if you guys want to, check out that episode, you can catch it on urbanstylemedia.com under shows, and we are First Table. And definitely check it out there. Like I said, definitely one of my favorite episodes. We said it all the time, but it's definitely true there. So first, we're going to take a short commercial break here. We'd like to thank you guys for joining us today. And if today is your first time tuning in and you enjoy the podcast, remember to follow us on social media at First Table Media and check us out every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be right back with First Table on Urban Style Media.
Stay tuned. First Table here in Urban Style Media, and I would like to thank you guys for tuning in this evening, and I hope you enjoy this wonderful weather like we are having right now.
It is wonderful weather outside.
It is a wonderful weather, and if you know Maryland, if you know the DMV area, our weather's been up and down a little bit. We've been a little crazy. So if you're just waking up and tuning in to now, just to recap, our topic today is for the power of change. And what we mean by change, what is change? Change is the act or instance of making or becoming different. So
The
I would
act
ask you,
assists
what
me.
is it? What do you think about change? What does change mean to you?
Change to me is good. You know, to kind of keep it short and simple. I definitely like change, but like I said, I'm a huge fan of, you know, taking the small things and think about it at a bigger scale, right? So for change for me, like I said, it can be just making a left turn versus a right turn, right? Because then as a business decision or any, you know, as a career decision, I might have to make a change that might be a little bit uncomfortable, or I might be a little, you know, worried about. But change is good, you know. I think even if change goes bad, it can be good because now you were able to kind of get that out of your head, like, should I do this? Should I not do this? And if you do it and it works, great. But if you do it and it fails, it's like, okay, on to the next, right? Well,
Yeah.
at least that didn't work. Let me check that off my list. So I definitely like change there. I think change is needed. Whether
Okay.
you're, you know, talking about technology, whether you're talking about politics, whether you're talking about business, change is needed in my opinion. How about you?
It's always change. Okay. To me, I look at change as kind of like a terminology I like to relate it to as opportunity cost.
Opportunity
When I
cost.
think of opportunity
Isn't
cost,
that like a accounting term
yeah, well, yeah,
or like a finance term?
yeah, it's kind of like it's definitely a finance term.
Okay.
Opportunity cost. Change can either go both ways. You can either you have A or B. Like you said, you can either make a left turn or a right turn.
Yes.
Opportunity cost. If you make a left turn, you know what I mean. You're embarking on a whole nother branch. You're branching off to new opportunities. You know what I
Yes.
mean. New choices.
New
that-
doors.
New
New doors
doors.
open,
That's what I'm
right.
saying. But those doors could be beneficial, or they can be a setback.
Right.
But
Okay.
based on the change, and based on, because with change, you know, you have to measure, is it gonna benefit me? You know what I mean? What type of change is it? What type of effects it's gonna have?
Right.
But I think change is definitely necessary because it allows you to take that next step in life. Maybe be a drastic step, but that next step could be really detrimental to somebody's life.
You know, and I like that you said that change is one. It can be a great opportunity. And then two, that it should happen because you often used to hear a saying. I don't hear that as much, but you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right? You ever heard that saying before?
Most definitely.
If you go into a, you know, your life or career or your business thinking that, I feel like you'll you know, see negative results. Because as a business or as anything, you know, you have to constantly evolve. You know, I always tell people, for example, for some of our viewers, right? If you just, you know, graduated from college, right, and you just got your career job, the last thing you should be thinking is, okay, now I can sit back, or okay, now I'm good to just, you know, just go to work and, you know, maybe, you know, have a couple hobbies here and there. But really what you want to do, you want to change, and, you know, whether it be just reading a book a day or, you know, working out, change could be anything. I always tell people change doesn't have to be big for it to have an impact, you know? And a lot of people want to make changes in their lives, but they're not sure where to start or, you know, how to start. I always tell people, you know, the first step is getting started, right? So you're not going to have the answers for everything. You're not going to have, okay, these are the pros and these are the cons. A lot of times you're going to go in with, like, you know, a blind eye, and that's okay.
Yeah, that is true. Like, change can happen in very little ways, such as, you know, making a decision to go to the gym, you know what I mean, to work on your personal health, make a decision to read books, to work on your, you know what I mean, education.
Yes.
And you know what I mean, just little change like that can go a far way.
Well, I
can
think-
go farther. So I think what you're more referring to is like a change in habits, as far as like breaking old habits. Like, say for instance, you come out of say for instance, like, you come out of college, like your example, and you get a job, get a full-time job. You
Right.
feel as though your benefits. You feel like so you can really live off of that job. So you're really being comfortable in the day-to-day life. But a change here and there is like making a decision to go to work, making a decision to go to the gym, making a decision to I don't know, start a new business, like stuff like that.
Well, let me tell you why I kind of speak on it that way is because I see everything that you do in life is the bigger purpose or the bigger picture, right? So that making that, I always go back to this, but, you know, going to the gym or, you know, starting to bring your lunch to work, that leads up to bigger goals, right? So if my goal is to go to the gym, right? Now I'm probably eating healthier. And it's no secret that people that are a little bit more healthier tend to be a little bit more successful in life, right? So now things are lining up for you, right? Now you might be able to travel more. You have the energy. Now it's just so much that plays into it, right? The work day isn't as long for you.
It's a domino effect on the change.
Exactly. And that's why I always tell people that change doesn't have an amount to it, right? It can be small or big, yes, but at the end of the day, it's all leading up to that bigger picture.
Most definitely. So let's talk about why change is so essential. For me, I feel like change can definitely be a good thing. As much as change, as far as change-wise, you definitely want to measure out the change. You don't just want to make it just be like, oh, I want to do this. Let's go and do it.
Right.
It has to be a thought process of why the change will benefit you. Why would it benefit you? The domino effect, like you said, consider like if I start going to the gym, it's gonna lead me to being eat healthier. Gonna be want to travel more, get more energy.
Days are a little bit better for you.
Days are gonna be a little bit better.
It's easier to wake up, things like that. It's so much that goes into it.
Exactly. So you definitely have to think about the cost and effect. Like, you know what I mean? The benefits, how it's gonna benefit me, what's gonna setbacks. So with each and every change, my suggestion to our followers and our viewers, and especially to myself as well, is that definitely measure out the change. Like, look long term in that change. How could it really benefit you, and different ways to keep yourself motivated to keep with that change. Because sometime when change happens, it's all about mentality of sticking with that change.
No,
sometimes people get that uncomfortable feeling like, oh, I don't really like this change. It's taking me out of my comfort zone. You know what I mean? It's not really myself. So I just want to give it up, or I don't think it's working out for me because, you know what I mean, I don't really see the results instantly. So that's what I'm saying. You definitely have to measure the change before you make that decision to initiate the change, because it happens quick. Some change you'll see the results quick. Some change it happens over time. Some change it has a time frame on it too.
No, most definitely. And so I kind of want to get into the question of, okay, we create a change or we change something different in our lives. And often we can go to probably one of the most popular subjects as far as change, or topics as far as change, which is New Year's resolution, right? Mm-hmm. And I forgot what it was, the numbers behind it, but there's actually an article out there saying that most people actually already failed on their New Year's resolution, right? Mm. So when we think about change, I think it's good to think about, the bigger picture, which you always want to keep that bigger picture in mind. But when we think about change, I'm super big on habits, right? Because one, I forgot the numbers, but it takes, I'm going to have to look more into it, but it takes, I want to say 3 weeks to, say maybe 3 to 7 weeks to create a habit, right?
Okay.
And so I know, we're talking about, the power of change, but with the power of change, you have to have the discipline to keep that habit going on and on. So when we look at what makes changes so essential, what we have to look at is sometimes it's going to be necessary, right? So that habit that you're doing or that decision that you're making, it will need to be necessary. I always tell people, although you want to make changes, just to kind of stay on your toes, to stay quick, things like that, make sure your changes are necessary.
Exactly. Like like I said, you definitely have to look at the demographics of how the change will affect you. Like, would it benefit you for the better? Like, is it long term? Is it something that you have to really invest time in? Is it something that you really have to change your mentality, change your habits, change your attitude?
Yes.
But definitely look at the long-term effects. Like I said, it can range from, the change can happen from the same day to months. So it all depends on the mentality that you have. Another thing that I want to talk about, I'd like that you also brought up the New Year's resolution. And I would say, I want to give people my feedback on my resolution.
Wait, first, can you let us know what your resolution was? I forgot.
So my resolution was to cook more, work out more, get my master's, start my business, and I forgot, because I think I had like 10 things listed on mine.
Right. You gave some pretty good ones there.
Yeah. So all right, let me touch on the ones I talked about. So cooking wise, I definitely worked on. I would say I'm not top chef,
right?
But I can definitely make more. I can definitely make, like, I go to the grocery store, pick out some stuff here and there. You feel me?
Okay, you're better than me.
Definitely cook something up.
You're better than me. Okay.
I can definitely cook something up. So that's the change that I love. That's the one of the change that I love. Like now, I don't feel more obligated to go out to like get fast food, to get, to like feed myself.
Right.
But I can like cook food, like prep food, especially for work. Because like a lot of time when I go to work, I know a lot of my viewers go to work too, and then you end up buying food, like prepping
all the time.
I knew I definitely prep my food. Like I cook, save a portion, keep it on. So that's progressing. Working out, I'm going to the gym. I would say I like your statistics. It happened to me too. Like I went to the gym for like a week, and after that I stopped.
And it happens. It happens to, I want to say, dang near everyone.
Exactly.
So it's okay. It's okay. But let me ask you this: how do you plan to bounce back from that?
I manage my schedule. Like now, I at least trying to go to the gym at least 3 times a week. Because before I'd be pushing myself, like, because I was new to kind of like, I wouldn't say I was new going to the gym because I was an athlete, but getting back into that habit was new. So I was like, okay, I gotta go every day. Like here's how. But like now I'm just like, okay, it's okay to take breaks. So let me manage my time now. Like let me really find the time gap. So after work, I'll probably pack my stuff, go there, work out, and come back and start my day. So
and it's good that you said it's okay to take breaks, right? Because when we're talking about the power of change, you often have people that will go through changes and they just go hard, keep going hard until they just burn themselves out, right? And so taking a break or setting time like a cheat day is okay, and I want to let people know that, right? You often have people that's like, I want to work every day. I want to work, all 7 days of the week, 24/7. I always tell people, that's not good.
That is
you
true.
Definitely need a break there. So definitely like that. So now I want to move into taking a leap of faith, right? So pursuing your dreams. What does taking a leap of faith look like for you?
I think taking a leap of faith is like just realizing what you really want to do in life. Like taking a leap of faith is like really pursuing your passion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to share a personal story with my viewers. I have a cousin that was majored in accounting.
Okay.
He worked in a big firm, was making a lot of money. A con, he was working like 60 plus hours a week.
Not worth it.
Be overtime.
Not worth it for someone else.
That really wasn't something that he wanted to do. So the crazy thing is he took that leap of faith. And when I say leap of faith, that's changing your entire life around pursuing your real passion. So his passion was photography. Taking videos, making movies, getting into editing, going into the video industry, production industry.
Mm-hmm.
So he took that leap of faith and he went back to school to major in that, to I don't know, I forgot what the major is called as far as photography.
Well, let me ask you this. How come he didn't decide just to do both, right? Wouldn't it be more money for him and for his business?
I mean, it would be more money, but he found himself not being happy by what he did.
Got it.
So
okay.
It was getting him through as far as financial-wise, as far as, like the assets that it brought him.
Got it.
But as far as the true happiness and what he wanted to do, he wasn't really comfortable of it.
So he took the leap of faith, which is needed sometimes for change, to pursue his dream.
Exactly. Leaving a well-paid job, leaving knowing that you're going to be financially stable in that job, knowing that everything's going to be okay in that job.
Mm-hmm.
He took that leap of faith by leaving that job. And going back to pursue his real passion.
He's better than me, right? Because I wouldn't do that.
A lot of people. I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't do that either because a lot of people would.
I feel like why can't you do both? Even though you're not happy, right? It's like you're gonna have to make those sacrifices. I feel like because now he's going back to school. He probably had to make dramatic changes in his life to where if he did keep his job, and I don't know the actual story behind it, right? I'm just more so speaking generally, but I feel like for me personally, it's like I want to pursue my dreams, right? But those dreams take money. Those dreams have to be funded, and I think that's one thing that people kind of neglect, which is okay because if you have a dream, you shouldn't let funds stop you. But how are you going to fund your dream?
I always think because at the same token, you have to realize sometimes you can do both. I'm not shutting it down, but you can do both. But sometimes you just can't because of the time management. Okay. Maybe you have more stuff on your plate. Maybe it's like more, going back to, especially going back to college and going back to school to pursuing that. That's full-time job.
No, most definitely.
Going to college definitely a full-time job, something you want to invest in. No, so it's all about time management. If you can't manage both, and especially if one doesn't really bring you that happiness, one is more so sucking the life out of you. I wouldn't say sucking. Oh, okay, yeah, I would say sucking the life out of you. But you making that change would be somewhat of a I maybe I need to sacrifice this to get this to go higher in this, right? I have both, and I'm only limiting myself because I'm spending X amount of time on this when I could be investing more time in this. Going farther down the line, going farther into it.
Got it.
So
okay.
Also with the leap of faith, it's all about getting out your comfort zone.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
So getting out my comfort zone is pretty much doing something I don't want to do. Put it simple, quick and simple like that. It's something that I don't want to do, and it's okay because you're gonna have to do a lot of things. Whether it be career, business, or just personal life or relationship, right? You have to do a lot of things that you don't want to do. One thing for me is I don't like going to the movies, right?
Okay.
But I found out in a relationship that's sometimes needed.
It is.
So I had to step outside my comfort zone because I'm not the one that will just sit down and watch a movie. I don't even like buying the popcorn, super expensive. So it's like a lot that goes into movies for me, right? Mm-hmm. And let alone the tickets are getting higher. So I've always been a person, I never really liked going to movies, but I found out that in a relationship, you're going to have to take those changes, kind of like a leap of faith, and step outside your comfort zone to kind of make both sides happy, both parties happy. And, sometimes it does work out because I do find movies that I like. Sometimes it goes bad. But definitely stepping outside your comfort zone, like I said, it's just doing something you don't want to do simply.
Yeah, that's what I say. Stepping out your comfort zone definitely ties into many other things. But especially with change, I think it's really essential for change, stepping out your comfort zone, because with change comes, you know what I mean, a different mentality.
You have to.
So, like I
That's
said, some
level.
people may become uncomfortable with themselves to say, okay, I don't like this change. I don't see a benefit. I'm spending too much time. I don't see the results immediately. Like
Right.
I'm ready to toss in the towel. You see what I'm saying? Just stepping out of that comfort zone, getting in the habit of doing it, just being optimistic about the results of the change.
Yes.
And that's everything. And sometimes but don't get it wrong. Stepping out your comfort zone doesn't mean that you'll never get comfortable again. So stepping out your comfort zone mean, okay, you're changing. It's that change you're doing. And once you get into a habit of it, it becomes, you might just get comfortable with yourself at that point.
Yes.
It may be just a period of time, maybe over time, maybe a week, months. You never know. But stepping out that comfort zone doesn't mean that, okay, it's gonna be a long lasting effect, or you know what I mean, or
No,
you're always gonna have that uncomfortable feeling. Like once you might see the results, like say for instance, like you're working out, like you're not used to, you stand out of your comfort zone, you're sweating, you know what I mean, you're pumping,
Right.
and it's too much. You know what I mean, you don't like to sweat. You don't want to sweat. You don't want to go home, take a shower every day. You don't want to do all that. You don't want to do it. But once you go home, you in the mirror, you realize how big it is. Like, okay,
No, it's definitely that motivation
You know
there.
what I mean? Yeah, that's
when
what I'm
making
saying.
changes. So I kind of was, kind of just give one more here. And when I say this one, because like I said, we know with the power of change, you have to be able to take a leap of faith. We know that, right?
yeah,
I feel like that's just part of it. But one thing that I always recommend to people, and this is something that we talked about previously in our shows, is one thing that highly successful people have in mind is they set time, if not throughout the day, throughout the week, to just think. So just think about just sitting in your room, just thinking, sitting at the couch, just thinking. So I always tell people, when it comes to these dramatic changes, or when it comes to taking these leaps of faith, yes, a lot of times you're not going to know how it's going to end up, right? You might not know the results, but you're wishing for the best.
Yeah.
I always tell people, you at least need to be able to sit down, jot some things down, maybe put on a whiteboard, take some notes on decisions that you make that can be dramatic. So that's one thing that I want to say is when taking that leap of faith and when changing, things about you or habits, definitely take the time to really think about it. I always tell people, I always give myself 24 hours before I make a decision that can be dramatic.
okay.
And to me, a decision that could be dramatic is spend over $100.
Yeah,
Or-
I don't like spending that much.
Anything that got 3 numbers or more. You know what I'm saying? That's just an example for me, but that's something that has helped me in the past because now I'm not spending as much. But then also I'm able to kind of see what's urgent versus what can wait. So just kind of a little bit of advice there. So what we're going to do now, guys, we're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back with our segment, Now You Know. We're First Table on Urban Style Media. Be right back, guys. Welcome back, guys, to First Table Urban Style Media. Now we're going to get started with our segment, Now You Know. So in our Now You Know segment, this is where we discuss upcoming news, upcoming events, and we answer a couple questions from you guys. So if you guys ever want to send us questions or, just talk to us, definitely visit us at First Table Media on social media, and we'll get started in our segment, Now You Know. So first, I want to discuss our upcoming event, our conference that we are holding at Bowie State
University.
Yes. So that conference there is the Class Act Young Professionals Presents First Table Live Talk Achievement and Empowerment Conference. So that conference is going to be great. You know why?
I just know.
Let me tell you why. Because we're going to discuss so many things, from education, financial literacy, from branding to self-motivation. We're going to cover so many ground, or we're going to cover so much that I feel like anyone, despite their major, despite their position in life, career, anything, I feel like everyone's gonna be able to motivate, right? Because if we're not speaking to someone that has a business, we're speaking to someone that maybe needs that motivation at that time. And if we're not speaking to someone that might need that motivation at that time, we're speaking to someone that might be interested in education. So we're covering a lot of grounds there, and I definitely like that. So if you guys want to come to that is April 27th. Next month, and the location is Bowie State University Center for Business and Graduate Studies. We have some guest speakers that are coming, professionals in their area, and we definitely want you guys to come out. It'll be a free event, and seats are limited. So if you want to register, definitely visit our Eventbrite, and to find where that link is at, go to our social media, and you'll catch it there.
So like you said, like we're pretty much sure everybody's gonna benefit off it. Come out, enjoy your time, network. If you want to meet us there personally, we'll be there too, so you can connect us one-on-one. We'll be dropping the Eventbrite link in our social media really soon, so stay tuned and follow us now if you don't follow us now, or First Table Media, and come out and have a good time. And like I said, if you want to just get to know us, because we definitely want to get to know our viewers.
Yes.
As far as what we can give back, just get a little demographics of what y'all are, how we can benefit you, stay in touch, etc. If you love this content now, you'll love definitely the content that's coming out in April, our conference.
Yeah, so stuff. And sorry, I just want to give the kind of our objective and goal of this conference, and it's really just to mentally prepare and help students, but then also people that are not students, but mentally prepare and help students to transition from school to career with strategies and plans in place. So we're not only are we going to share stories, give professional advice, but we're also going to help you out with some plans and tips that you can actually incorporate into your day-to-day life. So definitely a good time there. Once again, that is April 27th. Registration is at 10:30, and the event is from 11 to 3 p.m. So definitely come out.
So if you're looking for that determining factor of why you should make this leap, why you should, if you give me that motivation, or if you want that voice, if you definitely want that voice, I definitely encourage you to come out. Maybe this will inspire you to take that leap of faith. Maybe this inspired you to go beyond your limits, like pursue more, go harder. Definitely come out to it. So now we want to go into the question segment of our topic of Now You Know, and this is where viewers ask us questions that we respond to. So we're gonna start off right now. We have two questions that we want to respond to. And our first question that we want to ask, that y'all asked us, is from a viewer, they asked, I want to pursue a real dream, and I'm afraid of how it might set me back. What are some advice you can give somebody who is afraid of change?
So I guess I'll start.
Okay.
So I want to keep it, kind of raw and uncut here. Everyone is afraid. That's just really the reality of it.
That's given.
Everyone is afraid, and like you said, that's given, that comes with it. But you have to treat it like a pop quiz, right? You have to, and this is why it's so important to make those little subtle changes in life, because it prepares you for things like this, right? When you treat it like a pop quiz, your pop quizzes aren't really, how can I say it, right? Pop quizzes are meant to test you. Of course, it's a test, right? But it's really meant to test you and see what you really learned up to this point. So I always tell people, change isn't going to be easy. You're going to be afraid, but you have to trust yourself and trust what you learned up to this point. And if you fail, which I don't like to say, but if you fail, it's okay, right? Because now you know where you need to work at. So change is good.
Okay. I would say my response to that question is, for advice to somebody I can give who is afraid of change, definitely measure it out. Take time, measure it back. The pros and cons of it. Is this change going to benefit you? Is it going to hurt you? Or if it doesn't hurt you, is the benefit outweigh? Is the future benefits going to be better? Sometimes you might have to take a step back to make a greater step forward.
Yes.
So, like I said, you definitely have to measure it out. Okay, how is it going to impact you? It's going to impact your mental life, your physical life. It's going to impact your family. It's going to impact, who is it really going to impact?
So
and also outweigh the opportunity cost as well. So For somebody that's afraid of change, I definitely, me personally, I say go for it. You know what I mean? That scared may be the pushback that you're getting, but you're not really viewing the full scope of how it could benefit you because you're too afraid of making that leap of faith.
Yes,
So.
and I just want to, because I know we both used to run track and
is
field,
true.
right? And how many times were we scared we got to that line where we was about to get the baton, right? So it's
Oh,
okay
man.
because one thing, when you're nervous or when you're afraid, it can lead to a lot of good things, right? Because now you're pushing yourself because, you know, it's that fire that's kind of behind you, like keep going. So if you're afraid, that is okay. I mean, hey, I'm afraid to be on the show sometimes, you know, I'm a little shy, I'm a little nervous, so it happens. So just want people to know it's okay. So I'm going to go into our next question here, which is, have you guys ever made a drastic change in your life, and how did it benefit you now? So I'll let you answer that one first.
Drastic change in my personal life. Okay, I'm gonna share two of them. First one is the first change I made is going throughout college, pursuing an accounting degree. I always wanted to work to a firm, but everybody encouraged me to work to a firm. My family wanted me to work at a firm. My friends, everybody was talking about a firm. You know, that was my goal. I mean, that was my objective. But that wasn't really something that I wanted to do. And knowing working at a firm, you're gonna make a good amount of money. You know what I mean? Good amount of benefits. You know what I mean? Advancing your accounting career and just you know what I mean? Just progress. So with everything that's going through my mind, I really didn't want to work at a firm. I would say, I wanted to, but I didn't see myself. You know, that fulfilling factor that was missing. You know what I mean? That passion that was missing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I decided to take that leap of faith, saying, "Hey, I'm not gonna go to a firm." Straight up, I wasn't gonna go to a firm.
So are you at a firm now?
I'm not at a firm.
Where are you at? You at a?
I'm at a financial institution right now.
Oh, it's a difference.
Yeah, credit union. It's a difference.
Okay.
So think of it like
I know I'm not the only one that
credit
question
union
that.
banks. Know the difference too between credit union and banks too. It's kind of give me low.
I'm in technology, by the way. I'm in technology.
Yeah. So anyway, making that leap of faith, I decided not to pursue a firm because I had an offer to go to work for a firm as well coming out of college, but at the same time, I didn't have an offer going to a financial institution. So I decided, I was like, okay, my choices. So I decided not to take that offer from the firm. And that was the opportunity cost that I gave up. That was a drastic change because I knew the firm would benefit me, the money, the benefits, and everything. I decided I'm not going to take that route.
So how do you feel looking back on that decision?
I think I made the executive decision of not making that decision. Like, because
Okay.
I would say
That works.
because what I did is right now I work for a credit union, and it's HUD Federal Credit Union. And from that, like, I was kind of scared going to it. I'm scared because, like, I might, like, damn, like, did I really make the right choice? Like, is this really going to impact me? Is it going to impact my accounting degree? Is it going to impact my accounting career? Like, how will this benefit me? How is it going to correlate? You know what I mean? So I'm going through a whole lot of questions while I'm trying to pursue going to a financial institution. So when I finally went to the financial institution, I realized that's really what I wanted to be. That's really what I wanted to do.
wanted to go.
And my dream is to become a CEO of a financial institution. I will become a CEO of a financial institution.
Okay.
So that leap made me think, like, okay, I'm not going to listen to what everybody else want to hear. I got the offer. You know what I mean? A lot of people encouraged me. My mentors encouraged me to go to a firm, but that's not what I wanted to do. I got the offer and everything, but it was just not for me.
You know, and I respect that because I've also in my life made, decisions that weren't popular, but it worked out, for the best for me. And I'm going to share a kind of quick one for me as far as a drastic change and how it benefit me now. So a drastic change that I made back when I want to say maybe 18 or 19 was to start, getting kind of into business, whether it be creating a business, website, apps, things like that. And so that was a change for me, right? Because I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know anything about creating a website. I didn't know anything about that. And so I took that leap of faith there. And that one was really just kind of like a leap of faith, kind of like a blind eye, one eye closed or something like that, because I didn't have any knowledge as far as I never took any classes on it. So it really put me to the test, right? And to kind of give you how I benefited from that decision, I earned a Radcliffe Scholarship, which is pretty much an entrepreneur scholarship. So I earned that scholarship, right? Then I earned a part-time position at an internship at an IT company. So some people might be thinking, how does business and IT relate, right? Well, a lot of business that I do is related to technology, and so that opened up my mind and wanted me to explore more within technology. So that internship, which actually, to remind you, I was actually receiving less money than I was before that. Before my previous job, right? So once again, it's another leap of faith, and I had to make sacrifices. But based off that decision to get into business/technology, I got the internship, which then led into part-time, which then led into a full-time job. Then after that, I went to a federal government, and now I'm back at a private company as a system engineer, right? So that was an example of a leap of faith and a power of change, or a change decision that I made that's just benefit and turned my whole life around. I would say, honestly, that change is why I'm at this, table right now.
Okay.
Which is why I'm at First Table right now. So
inspirational here on First Table. So now that we shared our stories with you about the change that we endured, how it benefited us from our decisions, the opportunity costs that we measured, we would like for you to share your story for us at First Table Media. If it's Twitter, Instagram, anything, just share the change.
You can DM us as well. I know some people might be a little scared.
Sometimes you want to, spread your post, but that's fine. Even if you want to DM us a personal story of yours, the change that you endured and how did it benefit you, the opportunity cost, what you sacrificed, and do you look back? Do you regret it? Because me personally, I don't regret anything. No. I don't regret it. You regret it?
I don't live with regrets.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay.
I don't. I mean, I hate to say it so aggressive, but every decision, I feel like as an adult, right, every decision that I made, I'm happy because I made it on my own. But then, two, I'm willing to deal with it because I know I made it on my own, right? Who am I going to blame?
That's true.
So that's why I always tell people, like you said, you're going to have people in your ear, mentors, parents, colleagues, friends, make a decision. But at the end of the day, if you make the decision on your own, you can't blame no one but yourself. And at the end of the day, I sleep good at night knowing that.
So here you have it. First on First Table Media. We'll be right back when commercial break. We're going to bring it back to bring it in. And we're going to talk about, take the time and just to talk about the difference of change, the benefit of change, and really go in depth of change. So stay tuned on here on First Table Media, on Urban Style Media, and we'll be right back here with our commercial break. Urban Style Media, and we have a really surprise for you. This is the last question that was submitted, and he really wanted to hear our feedback, so we're going to really give him that feedback that he wanted. The question is, stepping out our comfort zone in a workplace that you know when you're different.
Okay, I actually want to start first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my advice towards that would be, first, know your position and know kind of your, I don't want to say role, but know what part you play in that company, right? When it comes to actually making a change or stepping outside your comfort zone. Because if you're stepping into an area that you know might not be the best fit for you, or you know is already strong, take the time and take your skills and talent to then focus on the area in the business that might need a little bit, more addressing or a little bit more attention, and then take that role, because now that I guess how you can say, the thing that's needed in that company that might not be getting as much attention as it could be, once you take the time to focus on that, right, now not only are you building up your skills and taking out and stepping outside your comfort zone and then becoming that leader that you want to become, but now also once you start getting things and moving parts within that task that you're trying to complete in the company, eyes will be on you, right? And so now you're getting the type of attention that you want. But for you, you're stepping outside your comfort zone. But for other people, this is great. He's doing this, he's doing that. So I would say, always pay attention to the things in the business that need attention, and start to work on that. And trust me, your colleagues and your boss would, and managers and management would definitely appreciate that. So take the time to just focus on things that need addressing.
Okay. I would
And
say
get to know. And get to know your coworkers.
most
There we
definitely.
go.
Most definitely gonna know your environment. And to answer that question, stepping out your comfort zone in the workplace when you know you're different, I would say use that different as an advantage. Like definitely use that different. If you know you're different, like I said, like Mario said, if you know some aspects of the business is struggling in, or just giving that how do we put that? Giving that extra push, like going harder than anybody. When you know you're different, that's what I say. Use it to your advantage. Like me personally, when I came into the company, I was like one of the only African Americans in my company, and I saw that as an advantage. I saw that okay, they can see me work harder. I'm gonna go harder. Everything that they do, I'm gonna do 10 times harder, and that makes me stand out because I was uncomfortable in a moment because I felt as though, and even not being the only one, just being new into the industry,
and being young too,
being young and new in the industry because everybody was talking about different topics that I wasn't even knowledgeable at the time I entered. So it was just like, okay, how do I become on that same level as everybody else? How do I be a part of this group, a part of this knowledgeable group that knows majority of what's going on in the industry that I'm in? But that's what I said. It's all about taking that extra faith. So what I did personally, stepping out of my comfort zone, because I was really uncomfortable, knowing that, okay, if somebody might come up to me randomly, just ask me a question, and I wouldn't have the correct response to it. So what I did, I went home, I went harder. I researched, learned about the industry, learned about learned about different strategies that help my company benefit. Came back, introduced those, went harder, knew about topics, taking over.
You know, and I like that you took the chance to, go back and kind of not perfect, but kind of, gain more knowledge as far as the subject or the topic, right?
Exactly.
And I always tell people, if you don't know something, it's okay to tell people you don't know, or hey, let me check on that, I'll get back with you, right? I always tell people that if you're uncomfortable, the last thing you want to do is try to wing it. Because trust me, and people in the workplace, they will sense that, and they will eat you alive.
They will pick you out. That's what I'm saying. Being different can definitely be an asset, definitely be a beneficial thing, because when you're different, you think different. You act different. Your mentality's different. Your attitude's different.
Yes.
Why not use that in a positive meaning, in a positive structure, and show these people that being different makes you better than them, makes you have more traits and more stuff that they don't even know. So something that you may not even know, it may be a time frame where you might come into work and they're talking about a specific topic that nobody has knowledgeable. Right. They trying to figure out what do they need to do, what's happening, like what do we do from here. No, you may already been in that scenario already. You may already have knowledge of that. You coming in shining. Yeah, like wow, like we all didn't know that, but you did. So now they're looking like they're gonna look at you as a learning factor, as an aspect, as an asset to the company. So being different is okay. Being different is a positive thing, and use it to your advantage.
Yes, and I want to say, and I kind of want to speak to another kind of piece of our audience or our viewers here. So let's say step out your comfort zone. That's hard for you because you're maybe not social, right? Or maybe you don't feel like you fit in, right? So the best thing I will always say with that is start first with just relating to your coworkers, right? So if you know that you might not fit in, or you're not as social, or you kind of feel like you're outside of your comfort zone, I always tell people, take the time, maybe go take a lunch with some of your coworkers, right? And take that time to build that relationship outside of the workplace. That way, when you're in the workplace, it's a lot easier, right? The conversations don't feel forced, or you don't feel like you can't go to someone for answers. So I always recommend, building that relationship with your coworkers first, because it's like, it's like school again. The workplace is all like school. You're seeing these people every day. You hear personal stories. You hear goals, things like that. So definitely take the time to, that's an opportunity there. I always tell people that is a privilege to kind of, gain that relationship with your coworkers.
Most definitely. I definitely agree. So that's an input. I hope you gain from it, and I hope we, pretty much covered it. But now we're going to talk about the benefits of change. What can change do to benefit you? And I'm going to start off with that one. I would say change teaches you how to be flexible.
Yes.
When I say flexible, I mean, like I said, stepping out your comfort zone. Okay, you might be juggling a lot of things, but just changing like your habit. Like change could be maybe changing your time schedule, changing your time management. Like, okay, I'm gonna manage this. I'm gonna spend the X amount of hours focusing on this task, X amount of hours focusing on this task.
Right.
Leaving you more room to, to complete more tasks and get stuff done. And basically, in the end, improving your self-growth. So, like I said, change could definitely be you know what I mean, focus on time management. This is making you more flexible. Your hours more flexible, give you more sleeping time, resting up mentally.
Yes.
And just involves reevaluating yourself, your belief system as well.
Yes. So I want to kind of give kind of one benefit change here, and that's a new routine. So reason why I say that is because recently I've had a work change that's drastic in other people's eyes, but in my eyes, I seen it as an opportunity to focus on other things, right?
Okay.
So when I say that it helps change up that routine and kind of keeps things fresh, I used to work the day shift, right? 9 to 5, normal corporate every day. But now I work overnight, right? So when I look at that change, it's like, wow, now I get the opportunity to switch up my routine throughout the day, right? So now I'm able to have more phone conferences. Now I'm able to, go here or there. And whether it be on a business level, whether it be just, need to go to a dentist or maybe need to go get your car service, right? It helps change up your routine, and I feel like it keeps things fresh. That's why I like change there. But then also, I just want to share one more right here. Change offers you opportunities. And when I say opportunities, right, I mean opportunities in any way, whether it be money, whether it be a new gig, whether it be a relationship. It can be different in so many ways, offer so many opportunities for you.
Okay. I like that. To piggyback off what you said, well, not to piggyback, to introduce a new change, I think change reveals your strength. When I say change reveals your strength, because like without being forced to like accept change, you might never learn the true measures of your strength. So you might embark on a new ability or embark on a new task that you might find yourself being really good at.
Yes,
being really good at, and then you might take that and you might take that, turn into
Most
a career.
definitely.
You might take that and discover something that you never knew about yourself.
So one thing that we probably both can agree on here is that a lot of the younger generation or people that are around our age, they don't really know what they want to do in life, or they really don't know who they are yet, right? Would
That's
you agree?
true. I definitely agree.
And I feel like the biggest reason behind that is because people are afraid to take the change. And I feel like you said, change can bring a lot of good things to you. And personally, the changes that I've made help me kind of be able to identify who I am as a person, and kind of help me find my purpose.
Same.
At a young age, which is rare, So I always tell people, I hate to say, those things, if I can do it, you can do it, right? Because we all have different situations. We all, have, different circumstances, right? But I definitely encourage everyone to make that change because like DeAndre said here, it teaches you flexibility. It teaches you, it brings up your strengths, also your weaknesses, but your strengths as well. So I definitely like that there. Nice sharing that.
I would also share one more, and that really it's something that I researched. Did you know change allows you to become more compassionate?
Yes, because you're more understanding.
You're more understanding. Like when you go through the change, you understand the effects that change bring, as far as like the benefits of change and what goes on, how the change affects you mentally, personally, physically, your attitude, your perspective. Once you understand the change that undergoes throughout yourself, you will then become more passionate for those embarking on that same journey that they want to change.
Yes.
So when you see the change in others, you're not going to really shame them. You're not going to really, have that, why are you changing? Why are you switching up? You're going to more so be like, okay, you're going to promote their change. You're going to acknowledge their change.
You're going to be seen as an influencer for them.
Exactly. You're going to see the change that they're doing. It may be a change for the better. It may be a change that you may see it better over time. Some, like I said, the change may come in a week, month, it varies.
Yes.
But it's going to become more compassionate because you're going to then know why they're going out to change, what type of change they're going through, the changes in their mentality, their attitude, and just all over. So you become more open to change, and you're able to identify it as well.
Yes, and like like we both said, it helps you understand people, right? And I feel like in life that is a crucial skill, being able to read people. So if you can do that, that's going to help you on so many levels. Whether we're talking career, school, relationships, startups, anything that you do, I feel like if you're able to read people, you're golden. That is a huge skill there. So
definitely,
if you're being more compassionate, that's one thing that I try to work on. Because as entrepreneurs, we kind of get that mindset that you just gotta do it, right? Yeah, you don't have the money. Yeah, you might not have this, but you just need to do it. But I've been able to, as I got older, and I started entrepreneurship at a young age at like 18, right? So I didn't have funds, I didn't have the knowledge, so it's easier for me to understand why someone younger, why someone that might be in a certain situation might not be able to do certain things. So I always tell people, and I always try to give a helping hand if I can, whether I can, assist with a website, whether I can, give some professional advice on, branding, marketing, things like that. So it definitely teaches you how to be more compassionate, 100%.
And I definitely like what you said about that change. One thing I can say is, to me personally, what I believe in, I think change, it challenges your values and beliefs. When I say that, once you go through change, I said,
does,
how you for example, how you may perceive, I don't know, give me something basic. How you may perceive, I don't know. Okay, I went blank. This is probably a blooper like that. But like I said, so it changes your values and beliefs. So when you go through change, say for instance, you're so fixated on something that you don't like. You're like, no, this doesn't work. It will never work. It never work. Never work. Never work. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You're always doubting that mind frame, and people know that you just don't like this. If you go through that personal change, like the domino effect, you know how change affect one thing, that check another thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So change, it's a domino effect. It's gonna change your views and your beliefs on some topics that you were so fixated on before that you just really wasn't against. You know what I mean? It changes your views and perspective on stuff that you thought. Like your mentality, like I said, it changes your mentality, changes your thinking process. So stuff that you may think that isn't essential, isn't detrimental, or just downright you just didn't like, going through change allows you to open up your views and beliefs to say, maybe I should rethink this. If I've never tried it, maybe it's an opportunity for me to try it.
No, most definitely, and that's the attitude that you want to have about it. So I definitely agree 100% with that. So we're gonna get ready to wrap up here. And I kind of wanted to share some things, maybe start something new that we do, maybe, a couple takeaway tips at the end of the day, or maybe, a quote of the day or quote of the episode, right? Okay. So some things that I want to share here is, so if you guys are asking, okay, I'm ready to make the change, right? I always tell people first, are you prepared to start planning, right? Are you in a good mental stage right now, right? Is things going good for you? It's maybe not a good time. Take some time to think about it, right? Because some people might say, well, in life, it's never a good time. Well, I bet I have to disagree, right? Because you're going to have those up and downs. So I always tell people, when you're up, don't take that time just to have fun, party, spend money. Take that time to also reflect on your life, because now you're in a positive, mental stage. So I always tell people, if you feel like you're about to give up, don't stop, right? Because that moment you stop, it's like, okay, I knew it, it wasn't ready, right? But if you keep pushing and you really want it, that's going to be noticed, and then next thing you know, you're going to be able to obtain it. So I always tell people, I was never the smartest person in the room. You don't have to be the smartest person, but you do have to be motivated, disciplined, and focused.
Ooh.
If you have those...
Ooh, you say that one time? You say those 3 times points?
I might have forgot. Okay. No, but guys, if you guys, like I said, you don't have to be the smartest in the room, right? You always see people, well, I didn't have 4.0, I didn't have a 3.5, I didn't go to Yale, Harvard, I didn't go to, whatever. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just have to be focused, disciplined, and motivated. I promise you, if you have those 3, you'll see good results. So that's just kind of one thing I want to leave our audience with.
That's a good takeaway. I'm gonna take that with that myself.
You gonna take that with you?
I'm gonna take that with me myself.
I'm gonna ask you next week how did it work out for you.
All right, man. I'm gonna give you a follow up.
Cool.
But if I give a takeaway, I definitely encourage change. Because, like I said, me personally, I never get too comfortable in my workforce, in my workplace, in my work life, in my attitude. I never get too comfortable. When I say too comfortable, because I'm in the mind frame right now where I encourage change. I love change, because change allows you to view stuff differently that you never viewed. Change allows you to network. It allows you to
make more money.
Make more money. That's what I'm saying. Make more money and
just
meet new people. Change definitely, I think, is for the better. Even if it doesn't have any good effects to it, you still embarked on that change to allow you to confirm, okay, this really isn't for me,
which is
because I tried it.
That is an accomplishment.
It's a huge accomplishment.
I think one thing that people might fail to realize, that in business, I always give examples that relate back to business because I'm so big on business. But one thing that you see, for example, one of the most profitable businesses in the world, Apple, right? Mm-hmm. People must think. You gotta relate it back to your life a little bit, right? You guys have to think about it. If the most profitable business in the world is okay and welcomes failure, right? The trial and error, you have to kind of relate that back to your life, right? Okay, I'm gonna try this. It might not work. Once again, you're not failing. That just means check it off the list, on to the next. So I just want to kind of help people out with that type of thinking, because it's definitely valuable if you have that sort of thinking, because not only will it show in your results, but it also other people will be able to see that. So I always tell people to do that. So guys, I want to say thank you for tuning in here on First Table Urban Style Media. My name is Lamar Favron.
My name is DeAndre Watson.
And if you like our show and want to know more, check us out on social media at First Table. And remember to follow us. And while you're at it, if you learned something from our show or found something valuable within the show, we appreciate it if you share and simply tell a friend about us. So guys, have a great day, and we'll see you next Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Check y'all soon. Check.
All right, we're First Table Urban Style Media. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
And enjoy this wonderful weather.